It's time for a new adventure.
Welcome back to another episode of Adventures in Business. This is your co-host Amy Zander with CD Media, and I'm with Lisa Fisher. How are you doing, Lisa?
Doing well, Amy. How are you today?
Good, really good. It's a little hot for my liking, but that's okay. It's summer, so can't really complain.
Well, happy belated birthday. Oh my
Thank
gosh,
you.
what did you do?
Yeah, so I know this episode will go out in a couple weeks, but my birthday was actually on Memorial Day this year. So it's always nice when it falls on the holiday. So we went over to the west side on the Holland area, and my husband and I both have e-bikes. So we went for a nice long bike ride. We went about 20 miles around the Holland area, and that side of the state is so much more bike friendly than the Lansing area. I know we just had Jeremy Hurt on with Red Bike Delivery, and he was talking about biking around the Lansing area because he has a bike delivery service and having to bike on the roads and things like that. And I was thinking about him when I was biking around because there's just so many more bike lanes and bike trails and things like that. And it just seems like the drivers in that area are even just more used to having bikers share the road with them and things like that. So I hope that we can incorporate a lot more of that in the Lansing area because I'm not planning on moving anytime soon. So, but I do bike a lot. So yeah. So, but it was fun. I had a really good time. Yeah. How about you? Did you have a good weekend?
Excellent. I had a great weekend and I'm enjoying the heat. But I am really looking forward to today's episode of Adventures in Business, as always.
Yeah. Who do we got? Tell us.
So today we have joining us Scott Toupin. He is the owner of Lansing Junk Removal, and he and his wife own and operate it here in this. They also have a store called the Free and Cheap Store. But Scott, welcome. How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you. Yeah. How are you guys doing?
Good. It's good to have you on our show. Thanks for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me on.
We run in all kinds of circles together, and we always see each other in the networking world. And every time I get to run into Scott, it's always a pleasure. And I always learn something new about him. So why don't you share with our listeners a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Okay, my name is Scott Toupin. As they mentioned, I'm owner of Lansing Junk Removal, and we have the Free and Cheap Store, which is just recently renamed to Free, Cheap, and Antique Store. So we got a little bit of upgraded items for a little bit of a higher end, but also extremely cheap items. Our goal in the store is just to get stuff flowing out quickly, so we try and keep the prices really low. One of the things that we've added on back in November is we started doing anybody that donates $5 or more. Each month we have a different local charity that we donate those proceeds to. So anybody that donates $5 or more ends up getting half off their entire purchase in the store. So that's been a new special that we've been running.
Nice. Tell our listeners where your store is located.
It's located at 1408 Lake Lansing Road in Lansing, Michigan, 48912.
All right. So what crossroad is that near on Lake Lansing?
So if you know where Wood Road crosses
Sure.
Lake Lansing, you travel a little bit west, you have a roundabout. And then as you come out of the roundabout, we're right on the left. So you can actually see the roundabout from the front of our store.
Gotcha. Okay. I know exactly where that is. I can picture it. Okay.
Yeah.
So adding the antiques in, right? There's a couple of things there to unpack. So adding the antique store in, how did you start with that?
We started off with just basically the lower end things, but we're getting kind of more higher end clientele that is hiring us for the junk removal. So sometimes like recently we ended up picking up a bunch of stuff, and the lady had spent almost $2,000 on her set of bar stools. She had 2 little armchairs that she spent $1,000 a piece on. And in the cheap store, usually we would sell that armchair for maybe $5, $10, or sell the bar stools for maybe $10 to $20. Some higher end things like that, we'd rather be able to sell closer to like $50 a piece, or, so a little bit more than our cheap pricing, but enough to where our whole goal of the store is just to cover its expenses. So we've got the building, we've got utilities, employees, insurance, all that kind of stuff. So this will help bring in a little bit more revenue to cover the additional costs.
What's been one of your greatest finds?
Oh boy. We've actually found a lot of interesting things. One that always pops into my mind is it was this old mechanical music box that had all these different metal musicians that kind of moved around and had a curtain that opened up, and it was all mechanical. So it was from the early 1900s, I believe. But yeah, it was in really bad shape. And this gentleman had found us online and was like, "Oh, I restore these." So he was super excited to get it. Usually if it was completely restored, it'd be worth about 5,000. In our store, he
Wow.
was able to pay about $50 for it. So he was super
Wow.
excited.
Was he planning on restoring it then and reselling
Yeah,
it, or
absolutely.
oh?
Yep.
So do you find you're getting like a sense for this stuff? Like, oh, I feel like this thing that I just found might be worth something, or it might not, or
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
I
yeah.
actually grew up over by Detroit, where I used to spend my summers just about every weekend at Greenfield Village and Henry Ford Museum.
Okay, sure.
So I learned a lot about antiques and got a lot of
Yeah,
appreciation for seeing those older items and knowing, what they are and things like
right.
that.
Do you watch the Antique Roadshow?
I don't. I
Yeah,
probably should, but
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
my wife and
yeah,
I love going to other antique stores, across Michigan and visiting
sure.
other thrift stores and stuff.
That's
So,
fun. Yeah.
yeah.
So tell us about your junk removal part of your business.
Yes. So we both do commercial and residential. A lot more residential than we do businesses. But we find that a lot of people, the perfect time to get rid of stuff is when you're moving. So either you're purging because you're getting ready to list your home, or you listed your home and you just got too much stuff for the photos, or you sold the home and now you don't want to move your old stuff to your new place.
Mhm.
So you kind of move all the stuff that you want to keep and then leave all the stuff that you no longer want in the home, and we can come in and empty it out.
Gotcha.
Or people move into a house and somebody else left stuff behind that they no longer
Sure.
want. So we come in and clean it out.
The old pool table, the piano.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, those are really hard for people to get rid of for some reason.
Yes. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, we got a piano.
Yeah.
So-
What I've seen people do is turn them into little bars or something, or
Mhm.
people put aquariums in them. I mean, there's all kinds of different creative things I've seen people
That's
turn them
cool.
into.
Yeah.
that is cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
So talk about the commercial part of it too. What kind of stuff do you move for that too?
Okay, so we just did one last week on Friday, and it ended up being a whole lot of office desks, office chairs, file cabinets. I always tell like nonprofits, stop in our store and we would love to help you out with, like, we get so much stationery, just like paper, post-its, paper clips, ink
Binders.
cartridges, binders. I mean,
Right.
just all kinds of stuff that, we either put into the free store, or we'd love to help out like nonprofits or other businesses that could use that kind of stuff. Then we get like shelving. We actually got a conference table that I didn't actually measure it, but it was probably about maybe 15 to 20 foot long
Wow.
and about maybe 5 foot wide.
Sure.
It was extremely large. So we got that in pieces back in our warehouse if anybody's looking for one.
Okay.
Yeah, we find all kinds of stuff like that. We're actually cleaning out another space down in Jackson next week that has like a whole bunch of folding chairs, a whole bunch of like holiday decorations. That's popular. We're always picking up holiday decorations all year
Mhm.
round. So we're a great place if you're doing a or Christmas in July or something.
Okay.
But yeah.
Interesting.
I love it. I love it. You've talked about nonprofits twice. So share with me, what is your passion for helping and supporting, giving proceeds of profits to nonprofit, helping other ones out? Where does that passion stem from?
I guess it's just from my core. I love helping out people. I love giving. I'm definitely a giver. Just finding all these different local nonprofits that, you got large nonprofits that they've got funding from all over the place. We try and help the smaller nonprofits. A couple of them that we did recently was Cardboard Profits, the Davies Project. We helped out with City Rescue Mission, some foster families, just different local charities to where, without having the extra funding in, resources. Like we're able to, through the store, bring in a lot of awareness to different projects, especially like the Davies project. A lot of people haven't heard of them. They pick up people that are unable to make it to their medical appointments. By having that as our focus for each month, all these customers that are coming through our store are getting to hear about that. Then we usually get about 100 people. We're open 5 hours a day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then also on Saturday. And during those 5 hours, we'll get about 100 people coming through. So you're talking about 2,000 people a week that are getting to hear about these different nonprofits.
Right. That's a really good way to spread the word.
Yeah, absolutely.
How cool. How cool. So thank you for what you're doing. I think that's amazing. And like Amy said, a great way to spread the word. So if you're a nonprofit that wants to get to know Scott, reach out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, absolutely.
share with us, how did you get started with because it started with the junk removal, then it advanced and advanced. How did you get started? What inspired you?
So it was an interesting story. I used to move people for 15 years, just all over the country, did a lot of traveling. And I was trying to find something to do that didn't require me to be gone all the time. And back in 2008, scrap prices were at one of its highest points. So I ended up getting the opportunity to scrap out an office building that had 173 office cubicles. The whole place was just a whole bunch of metal. And they were going to hire a junk removal company that was just going to take it all to landfill or whatever they were planning on doing with it. And we were able to do it free of charge in exchange for the scrap metal because the scrap prices were high at that time. That just kind of set us off on a niche to where we started like scrapping out offices, warehouses, that kind of thing. And then eventually we started getting asked to clean out estate homes, properties that people were moving, abandoned properties, that kind of thing. So then it kind of snowballed. We, started doing just the junk removal. And for a while we were doing pretty much everything. We're cleaning out gutters, cleaning windows, mowing lawns, pretty much anything and everything people needed.
Sure. So do you still do it where you will do it for free if you're getting the scrap stuff, or do you charge, and then because scrap prices aren't the same as they were, right?
Right. The scrap prices are way different. I was getting $360 a ton back when I was able to do it for free in exchange for the metal, and now it's at like $180, $190.
Okay.
So yeah, we do charge to remove, but we figure our rates based on according to what we're picking up. So if it was scrap metal, it's a lower rate. If it's good reusable stuff, it's a little bit higher, but still a low rate. And if it's just absolute gross trash, then that's going to be kind of the peaker rate.
Sure. Yeah. So do you have dumpsters where you put it, people throw all their stuff in there, or do you go in and actually remove the stuff, or both?
We do not have dumpsters at this time. We plan on eventually having them. Right now, we just have a box truck and we've got an enclosed trailer. And then we come in and we pack up, load up, and haul out everything.
So you do all the heavy lifting and the hard work and stuff, and they just pay you, and you make it magically disappear. Yes.
Absolutely.
Good. Okay. All right. All right. Sounds good. Yeah, I have to say, maybe this is my limited knowledge. I haven't moved that many times in my life, but I think the idea of moving and leaving behind all the stuff that you don't want and having somebody come later and getting that stuff out of there before the new people come into your house is a great way to do that, instead of trying to deal with getting rid of all that stuff in the process of moving or whatever is a better way to do that.
Absolutely.
Seems like that makes a lot more sense. And I don't know that it would dawn on me to do it that way. I would have thought like, oh, I've got to figure out how to get rid of all this stuff in the process of moving and everything. I would think that I don't know. That sounds like just a much better way to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we work with so many realtors that they know us and trust us.
Right.
And we're registered with the Greater Lansing Association of Realtors and the MLS, so that we can actually get the door codes so that we can go in and take before pictures, clean it out, take after pictures, and the realtor nor the client has to even be there. And we can just, if it's a realtor, a lot of times we'll just do an invoice. If it's a client, then we just get payment upon completion.
That's so great. Yeah, smart.
Yeah, we try and make it
So-
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you're moving, even if it's commercial, if it's residential, easy is so much better.
Right.
Sometimes we fight against ourselves.
Mhm.
So what are you looking forward to with your company? The size, the additional services you offer, but what are you looking forward to the rest of 2023 and beyond?
Great question. I appreciate that. So what we have recently added on is we started doing a little bit of cleaning service. So if a realtor or a client ends up having us clean out the house and then they want it clean and ready for either photos or ready for the next homeowner, we can go in and do a light cleaning. And then if a realtor or the client ends up needing stuff just moved around within the house for like staging purposes, or they're moving and they just need a couple items moved over to another place, or moved around, we can do that for them. Our plans over the next couple of years is we're currently working on expanding into the Jackson, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo. We currently advertise that we're a 100-mile radius, but we don't do any marketing outside of Lansing. So we're going to start marketing and pushing some sales out in those directions.
Gotcha.
Excellent. Excellent. What have been some of the challenges that you've experienced as you've opened your doors and started your business and moving on?
Yeah, absolutely. So like a lot of businesses right now is just labor, finding people. Like nobody, their dream job is to work for a junk removal company, but yet it is so rewarding. It's like once you get in and just start meeting these people and finding out, like what they've been going through and just being able to help them and seeing that whole transition, it just really gives you a lot of good feeling and a lot of purpose for, what it is that you do. So we do those that we have right now. They're a great team. Of course, we're always looking to expand, looking for like salespeople, drivers, helpers, that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's been one of our biggest struggles. And then really getting our name out there. We don't have, we try and keep our prices so cheap and the store being so cheap. Like we don't have this massive budget to be able to be everywhere like some of the companies that, go out and get a big loan to do some mass marketing. So yeah, we try and do everything kind of on a cash basis. We try and avoid getting loans for anything. So yeah, that's been a little bit of the struggle.
Yeah.
Smart concept. Smart concept. Where's been your when you hire people, right? How do you vet them?
So one, we got to do a background check, and then a pre-employment drug screen. And we also go through, I've got a list of basic questions like, are you capable of doing the job?
Physically,
physically,
because there's some physical aspects to it. Sure.
Yeah, and then like allergies and asthma. We've had people come on that, they were a great worker, and then we got into a place that was really bad of cat hair, and all of a sudden the person couldn't really breathe. So we have to kind of make sure we vet them for, being aware of that kind of thing. Sometimes some of the homes we go into can be gross, so we got to let them know about that. And believe it or not, I have to ask, are you scared to drive in reverse? I hired a driver and they would not drive in reverse to save their lives. So it's like, all right, add that to the list of questions.
Not funny. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is, you have an extra layer of security there with hiring people because you're going into people's homes. So they have to I'm sure there's some sort of the criminal background check. There's the certain layer there and things like that, just like with housing and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes it harder.
Yeah, we do have a couple contracts with some big programs that require us also to have background checks. And, and then newer vehicles, so like our box truck is a 2019, so it's reliable. If they want to leak oil in somebody's driveway.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah. Right.
How many vehicles do you have right now? How many trucks do you have on the road?
So we just have my pickup with a trailer, and then we've got a box truck. Whenever we need more than that, we just end up renting trucks and covering things.
Yeah. Starting growing your fleet steadily as you need it, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So who can we help introduce you to on this show? If somebody is listening and they know somebody that you would like to meet, or perhaps Lisa and I might know somebody that you would like to meet.
Realtors are always a great
Realtors.
connection for us.
Okay.
That's why we love Lisa so much. Along with many other reasons. I mean, she's
Right.
such a great person. I was
She
just telling
is.
somebody
She absolutely is.
she is so amazing with just all the
Thank
different things she does, and just her personality is just awesome.
Right.
So then any kind of property owners, management companies, I've heard that a lot of the residential property management companies, they're such short staffed that having the junk removal, especially when the colleges have their turnovers, they need a lot of help with cleaning those out.
I bet.
We're
Yeah.
here and available for that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Fantastic.
I might have some contacts for you without saying too much on the podcast. I know some people in the biz I might be able to put you in contact with.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So if you're listening in and you fill some of those blanks in for Scott, please don't hesitate to reach out at Lansing Junk Removal. And also, if you're out and about and you find yourself on Lake Lansing Road, stop by and check out the store. It's pretty awesome. It's really huge inside. I can't believe how big it is. So,
just out of curiosity, you still got those expensive bar stools? Did you sell them? You still got them?
Actually, they are sitting in the back room. Right
I'm in the market for some bar stools. All right, I'll have to come check them out. Cool. Nice. Awesome. So tell our listeners, I know you told them the address of your show, but tell our listeners how to get a hold of for more information in general about your business.
Yeah, absolutely. So our website is lansingjunkremoval.com. You can email us at contact@lansingjunkremoval.com, or you can call us at 517-643-0940.
Perfect. And as always, to our listeners, we'll have all that contact information in the show notes for this episode. You can find it there and contact everybody at including Scott at Lansing Junk Removal, and hire their box truck or stop into their store, or but don't buy the bar stools because I'm going to go check them out. Just saying.
I love it.
The giant conference table that's available. I don't need that. That's up for grabs.
Yeah, that's
don't have room for that one.
Right. Well, is there anything that you want to tell our listeners that we haven't asked you yet today, Scott, before we wrap this up?
Nothing that I can think of. I'm sure after the show I'll think of a million things, but yeah.
Sure. That always happens, but no worries, because I'm sure we'll see you out and about at networking events, or see your truck go by and we can wave, because now I've met you and this is great to know more about your business. So thank you so much for coming on our show and telling us about your business.
My pleasure. I appreciate you having me on here. It was great seeing you guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much again, Scott. It was truly a pleasure to learn more about what you do, why you do it, and share it with our amazing community. And I look forward to, like Amy said, see you in the networking space.
Great.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for being on our show. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in again to another Adventures in Business. We release new episodes every Wednesday. You can find us at zdiamedia.com or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't yet. It's just Adventures in Business Podcast. I think we've got a couple subscribers on there, but we'd like some more. That would be great if you like to watch your podcasts. And we hope that you go out and have a great day. And as always, make it an adventure. Thank you.
This is a Zedia Media production.